Hey there, true believers and symbiote sims alike. How's your Halloween going? You dressing up? Getting some candy? Being a little too silly for the neighborhood? Look, our last little romp into Spider-Man's many suits over the years was kinda negative, and honestly pretty mean. There were some downright ugly costumes in the top 10 worst Spider-Man suits list, but today, we're going to be straying far from that. Because today, my lovely listeners, we're going to be sitting back, cracking open a cold one with the girlies, and peering in on some of the best Spider-Man suits Marvel has ever graced our eyes with. Are you ready? You sitting down? You got your cold one cracked? Good. Let's get into this. The Spider Armor Mark I is a classic. The old trusty spider armor, right? It's got such an awesome look, with the black undersuit, the shiny silver plating, and it was the first alternate costume I ever laid eyes on, thanks to Neversoft's Spider-Man 1, all the way back to the ripe old age of 4 years old. I think this suit was clowned on when it first showed up in the 90s, but since then, it's truly grown to be one of Spidey's most fondly remembered looks, and always seems to find its way into the games. I really love it, and I think it's a great start to our list, despite not exactly being the best looking by a long shot. Did you play Spider-Man Unlimited? Do you have fond memories of trying desperately to unlock your favorite Spidey suit in that old endless runner that is criminally underrated to this day and needs to come back? Well, then you probably know the Future Foundation suit. I don't know about you, but I pulled this thing a lot while trying to get the Scarlet Spider and the symbiote suit. And to be honest, it's a snazzy look for Peter Parker. I generally don't think Peter looks great in white, but for some reason it just works here. Plus, him being a temporary member of the Fantastic Four is also a welcome shake-up to Spidey's usual status quo. The logo is unique. I love the black paneling down the sides that kind of give him a slutty little twink vibe that I love, and the inverse color scheme makes for a rocking alternate look that's super reminiscent of Peter's classic black suit. Now, streetwear on Spider-Man is always welcome. It just fits so well for a street-level hero like him. And I think the Last Stand suit is the perfect culmination of that idea. Peter having a kick-ass jacket that he can just turn inside out over a black pair of jeans for a quick change Spidey look is a super cool idea, no matter how you cut it. It's a sleek look, it's not overcomplicated, and it just does everything it needs to in such a simple and clean manner. It rocks! But we're moving on. Alright, so you know how Carnage is a hottie, right? He's a hot little symbiote twink, and frankly, I'd treat him to a steak dinner and a passionate night on the town anytime. But what do you get when you mix him with Spider-Man? Well, you get one of the greatest designs Marvel Comics has ever tossed our way. Because the Father, the Son, and the holy shit, Spider-Carnage is so cool, I can't get over it. I'm shaking right now. The red symbiote veins snaking their way over the blue sections, the warped classic mask twisted into the classic black Carnage grin. Everything about this look screams symbiotic corruption and 90s balls to the wall goodness. I really wish we could see more of this look in the future. It's that good. Now, speaking of Spider-Carnage, actually, our number 6 spot is actually one that I, as a dumb little child, thought was a black suit-inspired Carnageized look for Spider-Man back in the day. I saw it and went, oh, yeah, that's gotta be what Spidey would look like if he got a red symbiote instead of a black one on Battleworld, right? Again, I was a dumb child. But still, the Iron Spider suit is another sleek design that does everything it needs to without getting bogged down with unnecessary lines and paneling. It's just such a shame that the MCU took this gorgeous costume and made it look like a hot pile of ass for Infinity War, and then kept making us look at it for several more movies. Hate it. Next up is, of course, a suit that I think anyone who kept up with Spidey games as a kid, like I did, fell in love with at an early age. It's the classic Spider-Man 2099 look. Again, the Day of the Dead inspired motif, the blue and/or black and red color palette. It's such a beautiful look to go with a futuristic story, complete with its own techno-noir vibes. I think I love the look of the mask most of all. It's got its own signature visage, while still being reminiscent of the Spidey mask that we all know and love. Plus, this is yet another suit that just can't keep itself away from video game adaptations. It's just kind of a shame that we haven't gotten a black and red variant even one time before Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 decided to grace us with one just this month. Oh, I mentioned that streetwear on Spider-Man looks insanely good earlier in the video, right? Well, that rings true most of all in the most 90s design I think anyone's ever seen. The Scarlet Spider. God, what do I even say about this tall glass of water? It's gorgeous, beautiful, such a unique look for the webhead, while still being recognizable as the webhead. The big silver web shooters, the matching utility belt, that awesome ripped-up hoodie with the crooked spider logo, the webless undersuit, those menacing eyes. It all comes together to form what many believe to be Spidey's best alternate costume. And I'm hard-pressed to disagree. But there are a few others that made this list just a little closer to the number one spot. Coming in at number 3 is, of course, Miles Morales' classic suit. Man, I love this thing. It's a beautiful subversion of Spider-Man's classic look that pops off the page and says, "Hey, what's up? I'm Spider-Man. Want a cherry Dr. Pepper?" But for real, the red webbing is such a massive big brain move that I wish more suits would do, and I love that it's just kind of become Miles' thing over the years. Not to mention the black taking center stage over the red and totally omitting the blue makes for a stunning vibe that I don't think has ever been topped since this thing dropped. You see a black Spidey mask with red webbing, you know it's Miles Morales. You see that logo? You know it's Miles Morales. He's a new Spider-Man, sure, but you can't deny that his style has become so mainstream so fast because he's just that good. And his costume is no different. But you can't beat the classic Peter Parker suit, right? The old red and blues that have stuck around for over 60 damn years. Through countless artists, variations, games, shows, movies, you name it. I'd say beyond Superman, this is the most iconic superhero look with the best live-action adaptations of it to date. And I love how customizable it is, you know? You want it red and blue? It looks great. Red and black? Stellar. You want to make the webs messy? Go for it. Neat? Sure, be my guest. You want to change up the front and back logos as much as you like? Absolutely. It still looks like Spider-Man. Big eyes, small eyes, different colors, different shapes, different art styles. There's just no way to make this thing not look amazing. But there is one suit, just one, that I think took this iconic look and improved it in every way. Now, you may not agree, but you're wrong. Ben Reilly's sensational Spider-Man suit is the number one best-looking Spidey suit of all time. It is such a polished costume that I truly do believe it is a wonderful upgrade to the classic suit. The big center spider that wraps around to the back, that can be blue or black, or even a gorgeous gradient of the two, is a perfect design choice that makes the sensational costume pop like no other Spidey design in Spider-Man's history. And that's not all. The lack of a belt and arm sections, something that every new Spidey suit seems to want to copy, started right here, and I don't think it's ever looked better. Not to mention the silver web shooters breaking up the design perfectly and creating a motif for Ben Reilly that makes his costumes unique but still in line with how Spider-Man should look is awesome in my opinion. Also, can I just say that I love the split boots and the red bits on his fingers that correspond to how he motions his hand to spray his webs? I don't know, it feels very 90s, and I think it fits the design perfectly for Ben. It's like he was so excited to be Spider-Man again that he added these little details that he probably thinks are just so cool. I love this costume, and I hope you do too, my dear true believers. But hey, this list isn't definitive. It's all opinions and speculation. Plus, it's probably not even the last top 10 best Spider-Man suits video I'll do. I mean, there's just so many I wanted to fit in here that didn't make the cut. And who knows, maybe I'll do a few more of these just to show off some cool Spidey costumes. Because I know there are a lot that should have been here that maybe I just didn't think of while I was writing the script. If you'd be so kind, I'd love to hear your top 10 lists down in the comments. Tell me your own favorite suits. Oh, And just putting this out there, if you'd like to support the channel, you can now become a community member for only 99 cents a month. It would help me out a ton, I'd be extremely grateful, and you'll get access to cool exclusive perks and shoutouts from yours truly. With that being said, this is the Synth Voice Network, signing off for the night.